which is kind of giving it's kind of giving Mean Girls Burn Book vibe, you know?
It is. Yeah.
You've got that scene where Rachel McAdams is walking down the corridor throwing out the papers. Hello and welcome back to Why Won't You Watch Corrie, the podcast where I, Emily, attempt to convince my sister Vic to start watching Coronation Street, despite the fact that I only started watching it this year.
It seems like such a weak pitch.
I'm Emily and I'm newly obsessed.
And I'm Vic and I'm definitely still not watching.
Okay, but before we get into it, it's time for the official Corrie Conversion Scale update.
A scale I still continue to not recognise.
Last week, Vic reached a strong 1.
And I'm staying there.
No movement?
No movement.
Although, Vic, you did say last week that you might watch Corrie under one condition.
Let's not put words in my mouth. Changed it.
You said you'd watch if I appeared in it.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes. So, ITV, if you are listening, I am available.
Hang on. Sorry, is that your pitch?
Yes, it is. So at the moment, Vic, I'm essentially launching a three-pronged attack to get you into Corrie.
Hang on. A three-pronged attack? What have we got?
Yes.
1, the podcast. 2, the potential to appear on the show. And 3?
Yes, and number 3, this week we've got Carla Connor.
Okay.
Now, just to be clear, we don't actually have Carla Connor appearing on the show this week. I've discovered that Vic cannot pick Carla Connor out of a lineup.
Yeah, I stand by that.
Which is honestly shocking, considering that she's part of the reason I stayed watching Coronation Street in the first place. But also, I think that if Carla Connor cannot convert you to Coronation Street, I don't know what can.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure to put on Carla.
Yeah, so later in today's episode, I'll be doing a 2-minute lightning round purely on Carla Connor.
For only educational purposes, right?
And emotional.
Okay.
Now, Vic, which brings us on to this week.
Go on.
Because when I say this week was big...
You always say this week was big.
Yes, no, but this week was actually big. We had drama, we had chaos, and the final scene of the week...
Nope, here we go.
That was gold.
Define gold.
It was like the kind of scene where you just sit there afterwards like, sorry, what?
So confusing.
No, iconic. So, Vic, are you ready?
No.
Let's get into it this week on Corrie. Okay, Vic, this week on Corrie, there is a lot to get through.
Oh,
and actually, I'm gonna put this out there. There was one big storyline this week, and then all the others are little. So I think I'm gonna see how I can say this. I didn't want to condense it too much to confuse you. So I feel like we may do a 5-minute debrief, a little break for a tea break, some Yorkshire tea, another 5 minutes. And then we'll do the minis after that.
Okay.
Like that may have to be just the second I see your face looking confused, which is most of the time on this podcast, but more confused than usual, we'll take a pause. A pause for thought.
Wonderful. Let's go.
So, let's go. The big storyline of the week. Harry Potter, Teacher, and Will.
Right.
Vic. Oh my God, this week it all came out. It all came out. Yes. Okay, I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to work down. We are starting on Monday. So on Monday's episode, we're seeing Sam going to Roy's Rolls, the cafe, to study, even though it's an inset day. And he rocks up and he is really stressed. Yes, Vic.
Sam is Harry Potter?
Sam is Harry Potter.
Okay,
I realised I've not named him before. Sam is Harry Potter.
Sam. Okay.
So
Harry Potter was
Harry
Roy's
Potter.
Rolls. Okay.
Harry Potter goes to Roy's Rolls to study, and whilst he's there, he's getting really sweaty and he's breathing heavily, and you're starting to think he's having a panic attack, I think, and then you know he's having a panic attack because the camera angles start to go wonky and then everything behind him's going blurry, so that's how you know that he's having a panic attack. And basically he ends up walking out and people come over to him and like, are you all right, Sam? Are you all right? And then he walks out onto the street and passes out. So he gets, so an ambulance comes to get him and takes him to the hospital. And the paramedic, who was a great actor, by the way, found his ADHD tablets in his pocket and dobbed him in. Was like, he's OD'd on ADHD tablets.
Oh, man.
Bearing in mind, Sam doesn't have ADHD.
Oh.
Earlier, a few weeks ago, I don't know if I told you, but he's been taking ADHD tablets to help him concentrate, to help him with his studying.
Right.
Just to be clear. So then he ends up in hospital. Leanne, who's a stepmom, goes to see him. Toya, who's a stepmom, goes to see him. His dad goes to see him. Some of the Platt family are there because they're all related somehow.
Okay.
And he just keeps saying that he's stressed out because of his exams. He doesn't mention that, you know, his teacher's sleeping with his mate or with a pupil and is threatening him because he knows. So he leaves that quiet for the first 2 days. But Leanne knows that Harry Potter is lying. She can see it. And then at one point she's out of the room and the teacher has gone to see Harry Potter and is basically threatening him and saying, you better not say anything about me and Will. Like... whatever, and Leanne sees that I think she overhears that happening. She doesn't overhear this conversation, but she sees that she's threatening him basically. So Leanne goes in and is like, what's happening? Why are you scared of Megan, who's the teacher? Why are you scared of her? Tell me what's happening. And basically on Tuesday, Harry Potter tells Leanne that the teacher and Will are an item, and as he says it, the daughter-in-law walks in, who is also Eva, who is also Will's stepmom. So this is the same character. I've probably talked about her in all three sets. So Will's stepmom, who is sleeping with the teachers, walks in as Harry Potter says, and Vic, that was gasp number 1 of the week.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. So Leanne, as well, at this point, who's stepmom number 1, she, like, immediately believes him. She is like, you know, obviously a few people are like, what are your evidence? Like, come on, where are you coming from? Like, and she's like, no, I believe him. Okay. Okay, so Leanne is defending him to the hills. Harry Potter then tells... So we have a little break. Harry Potter tells everything. The fact that the teacher's been threatening him because he put that camera in and saying that he was a pedo because of the camera. The fact she's sleeping with Will. I think that is everything, to be fair. They're pretty big things. Leanne fully believes, even though there is actually zero evidence of this, but the daughter-in-law Eva is who we're talking about, okay? That's what we're going to be calling her because that's her name.
Excellent.
Eva is kind of a little bit like, I'm not sure. So later that episode, Eva, Toya and Leanne call the teacher to the pub for a chat. Now they sit in the back room because obviously Eva is one of the owners of the pub. So they sit in the back, like, living space. Teacher comes in and they go, we want a word with you. They didn't speak like that at all.
In that accent?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if we did a series on EastEnders, my accent would be down.
True.
They say, we want a word with you. She is like, oh, is it about Will? No, and she's going along the narrative of Will has a crush on her, and he's, you know, he asked her out, but she said no, and she spins this whole tale about how none of it is true. It's just that Will fancied her, and she's spent months turning down his advances, and she feels bad because she should have been honest about that sooner, but she's done nothing inappropriate. So, and then Eva, who's very calm, cool, and collected through all of this, goes, okay, thank you for talking to us, like, see you later or whatever. And then the teacher leaves. When she leaves, Toya turns around and says, do you believe her? And then she goes, oh, hang on. She goes, not a flaming word. mic drop moment, because then it changed scenes, and I was just like, yes, because you didn't know as the viewer if she was believing, like if you just didn't know. I knew Leanne believed Sam, but I thought the others might. I thought she might spin her lie. Yeah, they would go okay, and then we'd have another few episodes of like this going on. But we don't, Vic. We don't. They believed her from the get-go. So
I'm so passionate about this right now.
Honestly, because I'm so used to, like, when I watched soaps when I was younger, they'd string it along. But this one, they're like, nah, we don't believe her. Cool.
Excellent.
So then they have a discussion. And basically, this all came out on Tuesday night's episode, which was St. Patrick's Day, St. Paddy's Day. Yep. The dad is Irish, so he was out. So Eva decides not to tell him that day because, you know, it's St. Paddy's Day. And I really liked that Irish logic that drinking is more important than your son being groomed. But, you know, I get it. I get it. It's St. Paddy's Day.
I mean, questionable parenting, but complete logic for the drinking.
You only get one Paddy's Day a year. Okay. Okay. It was just interesting Irish logic. And I will be using that logic every time I want to drink over doing something else.
Go for it.
Just, you'll be like, Emily, you need to go and do your work now. And I'll be like, Irish logic, I'm having a pint first.
I'm like, Emily, it's 8 a.m. Go to work.
Irish logic, it's fine.
Not sure that's how it works.
That is Irish logic. Okay, we're going to put a pause on Irish logic and we'll be back after a short break so we can gather our thoughts. Okay, Vic, are you ready? We're continuing with storyline one of the week. And I'm telling you, we've still got another page and a half to go. This story was huge.
Bloody hell.
So, as we know, Sam's passed out from ADHD drugs. He's in hospital. He's told about Megan. Megan has spoken to the mums and denied. They don't believe her. So we are now at the point where Eva is telling Will's dad what happened.
Okay.
So he tells him he doesn't believe it. Obviously, this poor guy, he's hungover. He had been out for St. Patrick's Day the night before. He is not well.
Not the right
and now
time.
He has to deal with this. It's not the right time. At least give the man a fry-up first.
Yeah. Do it over a fry-up, maybe.
Exactly. So he's told Sam is out of hospital now and he's worried to go back to school because the teacher is still obviously walking free on the streets at this point. As Eva and the dad are talking about it in the pub, the mother-in-law finds out also.
Okay.
Just so you're aware, actually, I think and the other son finds out. So everybody who needs to know knows at this point.
Right.
Dad talks to Will in the park, and it's actually a really well done scene because they've set it in the park, so it obviously makes Will seem even younger. Mm-hmm. And the dad, actually, the way he looks at him and deals with that whole interaction was very, I thought it was actually very sensitively done. Okay. And really made you realise that this is a kid. Because obviously sometimes, like, because you don't see the kid at school, he doesn't really seem that kid. Like, he doesn't seem... It really made you realise that it was a child kind of thing.
Okay.
So anyway... the other grandson has an argument with Lauren. So grandson and Lauren, the two that are dating, have an argument because he won't tell Lauren what's going on. And Lauren, because he goes, Lauren, it's none of your business. And she gets annoyed about it, which I'm adding this in because I just found it quite hilarious because him and Lauren have really only been dating for 1 week.
I was going to say, didn't that happen last episode?
Exactly. So I kind of agree that it is none of Lauren's business, but she got really shitty about it. But Lauren, you need to learn to respect boundaries, please.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then they report it to the police. So after that, obviously the dad believes it, they report it to the police. Megan gets arrested on Thursday's episode.
What?
Yes.
At school, or is it less dramatic?
At school. At school.
Excellent.
But she's in a corridor with her and her partner, the teacher. And he's like, I don't believe it, and Will's a liar, and Will really fancies her, and blah, blah, blah. It's nothing, it's not her, he's lying, kind of thing. I think there was a storyline before because he says this has happened to me before and I hadn't done anything. So I think that's maybe why he's so sensitive about it, because someone had accused him falsely, so he now thinks she's being accused falsely. But yeah, so at the end, and then at the end of Wednesday's episode, the family the mother-in-law family are all sat, basically snipping at each other about who's to blame and who hadn't noticed, whilst Will is sat on the stairs crying. So that's how Wednesday finished.
God.
Moving into Thursday. Okay, so Thursday, they mentioned Will's mum very quickly, so I'm wondering if she'll make an appearance at some point, but that's just to put a pin in that. Will continues to deny everything. Sam gets questioned and continues to be concerned that he's going to get into trouble. Daniel, teacher B, the second, her partner, he goes and speaks to Will's dad, which I thought was really inappropriate, and basically was like, your son's making all this up. Will gets interviewed by the police, denies it. Megan gets interviewed and denies it. So Megan's lawyer is one of the lawyers, the male lawyer with the poo gate. That's the lawyer. And in the middle of being interviewed, he goes, you're just fishing. He said, my client is from Hull. She knows a fishing expedition when she sees one. I was like, your client is being questioned by the police for being a child molester, and you decide to give a fish analogy. Like, what?
I mean, did it work? Did she walk out of prison?
So then Megan walks away.
There you go.
There we go. If I'm ever arrested, I'll be like, please give me a fish analogy, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So the family then, obviously, the next logical step is for them to do their own line of inquiry. So she gets let out because there is no evidence. So they're like, we need to find evidence. They realise that there was a day when they're in the hotel, Will's birthday, he had spent a night in a hotel, and they thought they'd walked in on him. This was before Christmas, so I hadn't watched it.
Okay.
They thought they'd walked in on him and a girlfriend, but actually they think it was him and her, the teacher.
Oh.
So they go to the hotel to ask for the CCTV footage, but the CCTV footage wipes after 90 days, and they walked in on day 91.
Oh,
so
bloody hell.
that footage has gone. Then Leanne comes round and basically says, I found pregnancy pills in her drawer, so they think she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Then, luckily, grandson, who's not Will, grandson and Lauren, turns around and goes, we should tell the police, we're no experts, but they are. And I was like, thank God there's a logical brain here, because why are you trying to deal with this when the police could be doing this? So they took it to the police.
Oh, good.
The teacher is released from prison and then apparently doesn't go home till the evening. So she's been living with Leanne. And she comes home to Leanne throwing her clothes out of the window and a wardrobe, which, I'll be honest, I feel like that was very 90s noughties television to have scenes, and I've not seen that in a long time, and I loved it.
No.
I was like, we are not throwing enough clothes out of windows on TV shows anymore.
It's true. We don't do it enough.
We don't do it enough. So I'm all for that. The lawyers who have taken the case. So we need to talk about them quickly.
Okay.
So the law firm that's taken it, the woman of that law firm, who we have talked about, she'll be back later in the small stories.
Okay.
She is a co-business owner of the restaurant with Leanne, so obviously that's causing some friction.
Yeah.
The man is, the male teacher, Pugate, is teacher B's sibling, I think. I think they're related in some way. But so that's obviously causing conflict. And then he goes into the pub at the end of. Oh, are we at that point yet? No, we'll come back to that. So there is a little thing there. So that's Thursday. Friday, teach. Are you still keeping up? Because this is a long story. I think it's all right. I think I've flowed it.
I think I understand. There's a lot of people at play,
cool.
but for the most part, I get it.
People at play.
Yeah,
cool. So Friday's episode opens with Teacher B being called in for questioning, the male teacher, because obviously he's his partner. He's her partner. Yeah. And he gives a proper attitude and is like, no, Will's a liar, like, she's fine, kind of thing. Then, obviously at this point, Megan, teacher A, is back. Pedo teacher is back in for questioning because they found out about her pregnancy. So Kit immediately asked her, why didn't you tell us you were pregnant? We can do a DNA test on you and we'll instantly know if you're telling the truth, kind of thing.
Oh.
Now, there is still a chance that it is Daniel's. So she could do the pregnancy test and it'd be fine. The DNA test. She obviously says no. And they say, well, that means you're covering up. So later on in Friday's episode, Eva walks into Roy's Rolls and says to Daniel, which is teacher B, that teacher A is pregnant. And did he know?
Oh.
And quite clearly, he did not know.
Oh.
So yeah. So Daniel, at the end of the episode, or endish of the episode, confronts Megan in a hotel because she's now staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
And says, "Are you pregnant?" And she's like, "Yes." "I didn't want to tell you because I thought you'd freak out." Blah blah blah. And Daniel's like, "Do a DNA test." She's like, "No, don't you trust me?" He's like, "But if you do a DNA test, that proves, whatever." So she basically refuses. He then gets mad, and they break up. He then goes to find Adam in the Rovers, who's the lawyer, Poogate lawyer, and he walks in absolutely wasted in front of the whole pub. Bearing in mind they've been trying to keep this quiet, in front of the whole pub, outs the whole story, and is like, "Do not defend her." So at this point, Daniel no longer believes her. Daniel believes that she's a paedophile. This was the final scene of the week, and literally he just went in, and all the people around it, who had nothing to do with this storyline, were sat there going, "What's happened? What's happened?" It was absolute gold. And then the scene finished just with a shot in of the mother-in-law's face, and I was like, yes.
What was she doing? Just lurking in the background?
Just scowling. Just scowling. That seems to be her go-to face, and I'm here for it.
What works, man?
Exactly. So, Vic, that was a long one. That was storyline 1 of the week.
That was pretty intense storyline. I'm glad it's all come out. It needed to.
Some very quick, and then we'll move on. Takeaways from that. So, Leanne and Eva are sisters. I found out during this week, which means that Toya, Eva, and Leanne are sisters, because Toya and Leanne are sisters. Adam, the lawyer, Poogate lawyer, is Eva's ex for some reason. And I put the lawyer and Leanne
because they broke up then.
That would be it.
My main takeaway from this is that everyone seems to be intertwined. So how are they getting away with being each other's lawyers? There seems to be too much history.
I wrote this somewhere. I can't believe I didn't say that. Yeah, but surely there's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I think
there has to be.
There's got to be several, surely.
Fair. Why are we allowed to be each other's lawyers here?
I mean, at this rate, I'll be a lawyer if you ever need me. I'll say a little fish anecdote and get you out of prison. It's fine.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Anyway, let's move on.
Okay.
Right, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mini storylines left. That is it, because the week was taken over. So the next... We're going to do 5 minis. We're going to do them quickly. We're going to bash them out. The next one was the next biggest storyline of the week. So we're going to go storyline 2. It was Theo and Todd. So Theo and Todd's saga continues. Theo continues to try and make Todd jealous. Theo has Todd on Find My Friend, Life 360, whatever those tracking apps are. So he always seems to appear where Todd is because he knows where Todd is, and he'll just be really loud and obnoxious and flirty with other people or whatever. That continues through the week. The main thing that happened at the end of last week, so Todd is doing a marathon at the weekend, and he's out the night before carb loading. Theo goes and joins them. In that scene, he drugs his drink. So then Todd goes back home that night, is obviously passed out with drugs, and Theo turns off his alarms and puts his phone onto airplane mode, so obviously no one can contact him.
Yeah.
So the coercive control continues. Honestly, I imagine what's going to happen is next week he's going to feel absolutely, because he's running in memory of someone, Todd is. So I think obviously he's going to be beside himself, feeling really sad about it. And I think Theo's plan is to come in and pick up the pieces and then get back into his life. That's what I think is going to happen with that story, which is annoying.
Did they break up last week?
They broke up last week.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
So
couldn't
this
remember.
week he's been trying to make him jealous. Yeah. Okay. Todd did go on a date this week with someone because he was starting to feel lonely. They've been separated for 1 whole week.
I was going to say. Wow.
Yeah. But I quite like that character. It was a guy called Raymond. He came in for a week. He came in for 10 minutes, had a little flirty chat. He was really nice, actually. Quite liked him. Yeah. Then we move on to the next mini storyline of the week, Kit and Mel. Okay. So Mel of Mel and Bernie is awake from his coma. Now, prior to this, on Monday's episode, there was a witness who came forward to who had seen what had happened to Mel. Now, as we know, Mel had been had been threatened, had been shook, whatever, by Kit, which then had him to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find out who is assaulting him. Again, conflict of interest, that Kit is the investigating officer on this when his mum, Bernie, was being stalked by Mel. So that in itself is weird, but I'm wondering, actually, the police may not know that element of it. Anyway, so Kit meets the witness outside the police station, won't take him in, and basically threatens him, and is like, you own this pub, don't you? And he was like, yeah, and Kit goes, I hear that pub's been dealing drugs, and basically says that if this guy provides a witness statement, he will plant evidence to get his pub shut down. So Kit's turning out to be a
great
piece
guy.
of work.
Yeah.
And then Mel wakes up, so he goes and interviews Mel, and Mel is acting very much like, I don't remember anything, and starts like saying things to obviously try and get Kit to react, like try and get Kit to react, and then Kit goes, well, if you don't know anything, I will leave it there, thanks for your time, goes to leave, and then as he goes to leave, Mel goes, oh, one more thing, say hi to your mum from me. That was it for this storyline this week. TBC, to be continued. Let's see where that goes.
There's been some good mic drop moments.
Honestly. Next mini was the lawyers. The lawyers have this thing going on with another law firm and some conflict of interest thing. Someone is threatening them, telling them not to steal clients. They make a peace deal. And they're like, we won't steal your clients, but if they come to us, we won't turn them away. And the guy's like, that's not good enough, you need to turn them away. And then basically, at some point, the lawyers, this is Poogate Lawyer and the one who owns the Sweet Doll with Leanne, their emails get hacked, and someone obviously takes them and puts them all on the Weatherfield community chat. So all of their clients can see all of the behind-the-scenes conversations that have gone on, which is kind of giving Mean Girls Burn Book vibe, you know?
It is. Yeah.
You've got that scene where Rachel McAdams is walking down the corridor throwing out the papers. That's basically what this guy did. He put it all on the Weatherfield web.
Excellent.
Yeah. The Undertaker was in it very, very briefly. He's still sad that no one wants to be buried by him. But there is a really, really funny scene in the first 5 minutes in Monday's episode, where the cleaner or that woman who's associated with it is trying to like make him feel better and compares him to Taylor Swift, which was quite fun. And then Theo comes in and goes, is there anything I could, because he's stalking Todd, he goes, is there anything I can do to help? And then she goes, you could die. And I was just like, brutal.
Wow. Okay.
It's like, fair. I mean, that's one way to get clientele.
Yeah.
And Vic, that is what's happening on Corrie this week.
That's a lot. A lot happened.
All right, Vic, it's time to move on. It's time for the fun stuff. It's time for the Coronation Street Stats Report.
Yay!
This is the part of the show where I produce some evidence, some fact-based tallies, because I love numbers, I love analytics, I love charts, I love all things finance, as you know. So here we go. You're pleased to know there are no percentages this week.
Okay.
We're just looking at the baseline numbers here.
Yeah, fair. Hard facts.
The hard facts. Number one, suspicious activity was at an all-time low this week. That was at a 1. And I think that's because people didn't need to be suspicious because it was all coming out in the open this week. This was
nothing to hide behind.
There was nothing to hide. There was also only one fancier brew, which made me quite sad. There's a new tally this week, which was moments I yelled, "What are you doing?" at the TV.
Excellent.
That was twice. That was twice. Both were to Theo. Both were to Theo and Todd. I was like, "What are you doing?" Actually, no. I feel like both were to Theo and Todd. Meaningful stares was a 6.
Okay.
Arguments and storm outs was a 3. Now, I know that you might think this has been quite a dramatic week. It absolutely has. But surprisingly, there was a lot of really stern conversations and serious conversations, but not that many arguments and storm-outs. I mean, I don't know how... Like, there wasn't that many arguments. It was just very serious conversations.
I mean, although it's been a high drama week, it feels like it's been a very serious week.
It has been.
They've been dealing with some serious topics.
It's been serious, which brings me to my next point. Laughs this week dropped. It's been on an upward...
It's not been a funny week, Em.
I mean, I still got 14 laughs out of this week. I got 14. Possibly a couple shouldn't have been laughs, but, you know...
It's the St. Paddy's Day, going out for a drink, wasn't it?
It was. So that was 2 less than last week, unfortunately. Villain energy of the week, just 2.
Okay.
Theo, Megan, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't think. No, villain energy of the week. Kit got 1, I think.
Oh yeah, he threatened that guy.
I digress. Yeah, I'm going to up villain to 3. No, I'm keeping it at 2. I'm upping it to 3. It's 3. Counts of villain energy. My numbers are verified. I should be clear. They are checked and verified and cross-referenced, so you know they're accurate.
So accurate.
Accurate. Number of gasps this week.
It's been I feel like this should be quite high because it's been quite a high drama week and there's been quite a few mic drop moments. So I want to say going 10.
Okay, no, not quite. There were 6. There were 6 gasp moments, which is still high.
Yeah. I mean, still only 5 episodes a week, right? So
exactly. It's a fan favourite. The Don't Be Daffs. We had 2 this week, which is 1 less than last week, but they didn't come until Friday's episode. So I was like, oh no, there's no Don't Be Daffs, but there were 2.
That's all right then. For you.
For you. And finally, with a record-breaking high this week, conversations that happened in public that should have happened at home, we have got 9.
Yeah, it seems like that would be high this week. Outing everything in a pub is at least 2.
I mean, that should have got some extra a bonus point.
Yeah.
And Vic, that is your Coronation Street Stats Report. And we move on to the Coronation Street Awards. Woo. This is the part of the show where I create my own awards and I give them to whoever the hell I want to, because this is our podcast and I'm making the decisions on this one because you don't watch Corrie.
No, I do not.
So, villain energy of the week. We have got Theo, teacher, Kit. Now, I'm not going to let you pick this one because I'm going to go with someone who I think you're probably not expecting. You would think it would be Theo or teacher, I assume, based on the week we've had.
Yeah. I was going teacher. Yeah. But...
Yeah. And I agree. Teacher is absolutely a villain, as is Theo. But this week, Kit is getting villain of the week.
Okay.
Because Kit was just an absolute... I just didn't like Kit this week. So...
Fair enough.
He was just mean and arrogant, and I didn't like that energy. So, for me, he was my villain of the week this week. So, Kit...
Congratulations, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. MVP, most valued player of the week. We have got Sam, we have got Leanne, we got Harry Potter, we've got Leanne, and we've got the landlord, the bro. Okay. So originally, I'd circled the landlord to win because the scene with him on the swings was very, very good. But then I realised that Leanne was my MVP of the week.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. And I don't think I really emphasised this enough in the story because there was so much to get through. But Leanne is the only person who, without question, supported Sam 100%. Yeah. And believed what he was saying 100%. And didn't even, question. Was just like, if he's saying it, it's true. And I just thought, we all need a parent like that who's just going to believe you. So... for that, and for that alone, Leanne gets MVP of the week.
Okay, good rationale. I appreciate it.
Okay, Vic, we're moving on. I've got an ick of the week, just one, so there's just one winner, and that goes to Theo, just generally, because he just kept showing up in scenes and, like, laughing to try and make Todd jealous, and it was just icky and gross, and I just wanted to punch him in the face. But there's one particular scene where he knows he's manipulated Todd, and as he walks off around the corner, he smiles, but the smile he has was a bit like the Joker from the Batman movies, and it was just icky, and, ick.
He needs to get gone.
He needs to get gone. He's my top favourite to be murdered at this point.
Yeah.
This week, we've not had this for a while, we've got a comedy moment of the week. And I'm going to let you pick this award. I'm going to try and explain these the best I can. Obviously, they're funnier when you watch them, but let's go. So we got The Undertaker, the cleaner in The Undertaker storyline, and the first 5 minutes, she's trying to boost The Undertaker's mood, so she compares him to Taylor Swift, and she's like, she rose like a phoenix from the flames, and look at her career now. So she was comparing his career to Taylor Swift. And then obviously the Theo, is there anything I can do? And she goes, die. That was very, very funny.
Yeah.
The next comedy moment of the week, Lisa turns around to Nina, who's she works in Rory's Rolls, and she's dyed her hair black. And Lisa goes, back to black, as Amy Winehouse would say. So I do believe that the scriptwriter on Monday was throwing in the music puns or the music references, basically. Number 3 was there was a bartender who works at the Rovers who was getting flirted. Theo was flirting with him to try and make Todd jealous.
Okay.
Which is actually nothing to do with what I'm about to tell you, but I just wanted you to know who he was. So this bartender is trying to work out why the landlord's family are also grumpy that week, because they don't know about the Will storyline.
Yeah.
And he said, well, something's going on. You think they're holding the world backside slapping competition on that side of the room. I just thought that was quite funny. Maybe you had to watch it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's you had to be there kind of moment. It just seems a bit weird, I'm not going to lie.
And then the final one was Tina is out for lunch with Todd, and she goes, do you know what? I'm going to seize the day. I'm going to have a beetroot carpaccio.
Yay! You seized that day. Congratulations.
It's just so serious. I'm going to seize the day. I'm going to have a salad. I don't actually know what beetroot carpaccio is, but she seized the day.
I was going to say, did she get it? That's the question. Did she?
No, they ended up leaving because of Theo. But so she didn't seize that day. Which one of those would you say is your comedy moment of the week, Vic?
I mean, as good as the second to last one was, it's definitely not that one. I was just a bit confused.
Yeah.
I would have to say the one that really, I resonated with, got me laughing, was the Taylor Swift one. So I'm going to give it to The Undertaker.
Go.
That was good.
That's a good scene, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, then. And we are moving on to Last Orders. This is the part of the show where I take a character from the week and I decide whether I would go for a drink with him, because that is how I like to make all my important friendship choices in life. Would I take you for a pint?
Yeah.
This week we are going for Kit.
Oh, the one who just won Villain of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
What are you? From what I've told you over the last few weeks about Kit, what are your thoughts on Kit?
That he's a bit of a madman.
Interesting.
And I wouldn't trust him at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or trust that if he got drunk, he wouldn't act out aggressively towards me. So, personally, no.
Mm-hmm.
Just no.
So I have said, this week particularly, he seemed to have a sense of arrogance, which I didn't enjoy. I said I don't think he seems to have much chat, if I'm being honest. And honestly, just generally, he seems to have a chip on his shoulder about everything.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy. He had an interaction with Lisa this week, where he said they were going into they bumped into each other as Roy's roles, and obviously Lisa's got the baby at home with Carla at the moment.
Yep.
And she had a bit of baby sick on her shoulder, and she goes, "Oh, Auntie Lisa, you might want to get that baby sick off your shoulder before you head into the office." Which, yes, okay, might not seem that offensive, but it was the way he said it. It really grated on me. And then he made a few comments to Lisa about motherhood and being a baby, like having a baby, or he goes, "Is Carla not coping?" That doesn't surprise me at all. It annoyed me a little bit that Lisa didn't stand up for her, but I guess at some point there's no point saying anything. But I didn't like that attitude. It made me angry with him, to be honest. So let's whiz through this quickly. He doesn't deserve our time, Vic.
He does not. You're right.
He does not. Small talk ability. I gave him a 2 out of 5. I think he's not got the bands at all. And if I'm being honest, Vic, I don't think he'd give us the time of day and wouldn't want to talk to us. So I'm giving him a 2 out of 5.
I get that.
Drama risk, I've given him a 3 out of 5 because he did beat up Mel. He does live in Weatherfield.
Who knows what he'll do when he gets drunk? Like I said, he could go rogue and beat up a person. You never know.
Exactly. So I feel, gossip value, I've gone 1.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be... he should have great gossip because he's a policeman. He gets all of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think...
No. I don't think he'd share it. And I think he wouldn't take... A gossip is fun when it makes you go, "Ooh, really?" Yeah. Whereas I think he would say really boring things.
Yeah. Probably half the gossip he would learn he's not legally allowed to share.
Valid point. Very valid point.
But still...
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. That's where he got the 1 from.
Vibes check. I have given him a 1 out of 5.
I stand with you on that. I don't watch it. I don't know what he's like. But he seems dull and problematic.
He's dull. And this week, arrogant. And he's disrespectful to working mothers. So...
he's out.
1 out of 5. Second drink probability with a mic drop, not flaming likely, is my response to that.
No. Get out. Your time at the bar's done.
All right, Vic. It is time. We've got 2 segments left. We are moving on to Legacy Lauren.
Legacy Lauren.
It is time for Who on the Cobbles. This is the part of the show where Legacy Lauren joins us and gives us some facts, tidbits, interesting information about Coronation Street, and Vic and I have to try and guess who it is. Are you ready, Vic?
I'm ready.
Let's play Who on the Cobbles.
Hey, Emily and Vic. Legacy Lauren here. I am very impressed with how well you've done on the Who's Who on the Cobbles. Em, I really think that your increasing knowledge of characters is beginning to show. And Vic, you are 100% getting more invested. I can hear it in your voice.
No!
Let's move you further up that Corrie Conversion Scale. So here's some more Who's Who's for you.
My life took a dramatic turn when I was tricked into marrying Tracy Barlow, who falsely claimed that I was the father of her baby girl. The marriage was later annulled. Who am I?
Okay, who am I? I mean, I do not know actually any of the Tracy Barlow lore except for the fact that she's a bit
Ken
wild.
Barlow's related relation.
I don't think it can't be Steve because Steve appears to actually be the father of this child. Or unless it is Steve.
I don't know what child they're talking about, so I'm going to say Dave.
And we're going with Dave.
I don't know who Dave is.
Dave does not exist. Funnily enough, for one of the most popular names in the UK, I don't believe there is a Dave on Corrie.
Oh,
but
well.
We're about to find out.
I will be impressed if you've got this. So it was Roy Cropper. Roy Cropper, who was tricked into marrying Tracy Barlow because she led him to believe that he was the father of her baby girl.
Sorry,
So him and Hayley
I can't breathe.
called that baby girl Patience. Anyway, later, Patience became Amy. Amy is still on the street. And in the end, Roy and Hayley were her godparents. That all of that came out in the wash.
Sorry, is Roy?
I'm sorry, I can't breathe right now.
Is Roy the one who was arguing about a book?
No, that was Brian. Roy
Brian.
is the owner of Roy's Rolls. Roy's the older man that's really good friends with Carla, and like he's oh Vic, Roy's the I can't. Okay, next week I'm doing a lightning round on Roy because you need to know who Roy is.
Okay.
Roy Cropper is amazing, and this has absolutely shocked me to my very core.
I mean, I still don't know who you're talking about.
Anyway, should we go on for number 2?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was romantically involved with 2 brothers. I had a baby boy with the younger brother, who later came out as gay, and I was engaged to the older brother, who I then left at the altar for another man. Who am I?
Do you have a feeling on this?
No. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think who are brothers. Is it like Nick and David?
It's Shona! I feel like this might be Sarah Platt.
Okay.
Because
Okay, why?
I feel like she had a baby with a boy. And
Right.
then I think she ended up with Todd, who I think might have been... but that would mean that Todd is Bethany's uncle, which I don't think is true. Okay, I'm going to go with Sarah Platt, but I've got much like Harry Potter has no evidence on the teacher right now, I have no evidence to prove that this is Sarah Platt, but that's who I'm going with. Would you like to make a guess?
I mean, these are getting harder and harder at this point. With very little knowledge on characters. Mary?
Mary Taylor! Oh my god, I wanted to be Mary Taylor. Okay, I'm going in. Mary Taylor is the one who was elemental, like fire, like water, like a puddle.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Okay, ready? I'm going in.
Yep.
So Sarah Platt was involved with
What?
Todd Grimshaw and his brother Jason. So Todd, the younger brother, came out as gay. I think he was the street's first openly gay character.
Oh.
And she was engaged to Jason. She left him at the altar. Yeah, Sarah Platt.
There we go. Who is Jason?
I don't believe Jason is in it anymore.
Okay, fine. Cool.
And last, final one.
Yeah.
I made quite an entrance on the street, arriving in my beloved motorhome, which was later reported to the council by Todd Grimshaw.
Rude.
And was removed for being parked illegally. I am not one of Dev's many women, but I did fall in love with him once. Who am I?
Okay, so I'm assuming we're going for a female who rocked up in a caravan.
Maybe, who knows? You know what the hardest thing about this is? I have no ages for anyone. So when, like, you're saying this, I'm like, but Dev's, like, 30, isn't he? Like...
No, Dev's, like, 50-ish, I would say. Maybe even 60-ish.
Okay.
So if he's not one of Dev's... Because if with saying that alone, and what I know of the characters, I would say the most likely person to rock up in a caravan would be Bernie.
Okay.
But we know that Bernie is... But we know that Bernie and Dev are together, so it can't be Bernie.
No.
So, and actually, she never said it was a woman. She just said that they fell in love with Dev, so it could be a man.
Maybe it's Mal. Mel?
It could be Mel. I wonder if it's someone more old school because it's Legacy Lauren. So who is old? Carla? No, I don't think it's Carla.
Lisa?
Lisa, the police officer, rocked up in a caravan, fell in love with Dev.
You never know.
You do actually never know. That is a very valid point. You never know. Okay, who do we know? Platt family, Steve, Tracy, Cassie, Sally? No, I feel like Sally's before Dev. I wonder, there's a bartender a female bartender. I wonder if it's her. She kind of gives me maybe caravan vibes.
Oh.
She like worked on the cruise ship, so there might have been an interim period where she lived in a caravan for a while.
Okay.
I feel like that could work. Holiday park vibes. Yeah. Let's go that.
Okay. It is Mary Taylor.
Oh,
Tom has definitely been villainous in the past and has caused trouble for more than a few of the street's residents, including grassing up Mary and her motorhome to the council. Also, side note here, but the actress who plays Mary, she asked to be on Corrie, and she wrote a script and a character outline that she proposed to the writers. I don't think they went for what she proposed, but as we know, she is on the street now. So I'm just going to plant that little seed there for you.
Well, there you have it, Em. That's how to get on Corrie.
So many takeaways from this, and I do have an idea for my character in Corrie, which I will talk about next week. I will bring you an outline of a script next week for my character on Corrie, and I'm so sorry that Lauren has done that to you, because now all you're going to hear about is my script for Corrie.
Maybe you should tell Lauren about it. She'll know what goes and what doesn't.
She'll hear about it too. More importantly, Mary Taylor. I did not see Mary Taylor rocking up in a caravan.
Well, clearly she did.
She's a dark horse, is our Mary. Now, Vic, we do have, before we move into the Corrie conversion, as we know, we have a little bonus 2-minute segment, thankfully, because this episode is running long. It has no name. Let's call it Carla Connor.
Let's go. Tell me who she is then.
Okay, Vic. Carla Connor. Buckle up. She is a factory boss, a fashion icon, emotional wreck, absolute queen of Coronation Street. She's serving high glam whilst her life is consistently on fire. She's been married multiple times, divorced multiple times, slept with her brother-in-law, married him. Chaos. One of her main love stories was Peter Barlow. He was an alcoholic, a serial cheater, love of her life. They broke up, they reunited, they betrayed each other, they remarried. Honestly, toxic soulmate energy.
Excellent.
But now, as we know, her true soulmate, Lisa, which is her most healthy relationship to date, especially if we ignore the fact that Lisa's ex-wife came back from the dead last year. Not even ex-wife. Lisa's wife came back from the dead last year. Carla Connor's been through everything. She's been kidnapped, business collapse, fraud drama, survived sexual assault, struggled with alcoholism, had a full-on psychosis storyline where she thought people were out to get her. But also, she runs Underworld like a boss, takes zero nonsense, delivers one-liners like she's on a mission. Friendship highlights. Roy Cropper. Random? Yes. Perfect? Also yes. He's her pure safe space. It's weirdly the purest relationship she has, and it makes zero sense, but it works perfectly. There's Ryan Connor, not her biological son, but you'd never know. She's fiercely protective, especially after his acid attack. She has proper don't mess with my kid energy, and she's a ride or die mum vibes. We got Betsy Swain, Lisa's daughter, Carla's suddenly in this weird semi-stepmom orbit where she's trying to be supportive, but also like she's Carla Connor, so she doesn't do normal, it's awkward, it's soft, it's actually very cute. Generally, Vic, my vibe check for Carla Connor: glamorous, guarded, cutting, secretly soft, fiercely loyal, makes terrible decisions in love, but you support her anyway, and she has hilarious one-liners. If you start watching for Carla, you will stay for Carla. She will ruin her life, rebuild it, and look absolutely incredible whilst doing it. Vic, you would love her.
Yay.
And how's my pitch on Carla Connor? Are you in?
One of my biggest takeaways is she's very dramatic. She has too much going on in her life.
Okay, Vic, it's the end of the show. It's the bit we all know and love. It is the Corrie Conversion Scale.
Oh, God.
So this week I have pitched to you in numerous fashions. Lauren has pitched to you exclusively as well. Carla Connor has pitched to you through me, through the medium of Emily.
Yep.
Where are you? Tell us your thoughts. Tell us your scale. Last week you were a 1. Go.
So, thoughts. I have enjoyed this week with you telling me the storylines. I think that the storylines are very real, very personable to a lot of people, and I appreciate that they have told it in a way that is sensitive to the characters and people who may be going through the same thing. I like that. Good work, Corrie. You've kept it, real. In some sense, they've gone completely out the window, and they have blown it up to extreme heights that sometimes it doesn't need to be. I get that it's a soap and it's factual, not unfactual.
I get that it's real life.
I get that it's not real, and they have to add the drama. Sometimes it feels like they add too much drama just to keep the views. And for that reason, I will concede that I am a bit more invested. Yes! And I will move up to 1.2. No, 1.5. 1.5. 1.5.
That's such a really bizarre number to pick. I'm going to go 1.2. Okay. I know we like
my
numbers,
work
Vic,
brain
that's
coming
very
out.
Precise.
1.5.
Okay.
So 1.5 up that conversion scale, because I have enjoyed hearing the stories and the outcomes this week.
There we are, Vic. Episode 6, finally at a 1.5 on the Corrie Conversion Scale.
Woo.
If you like this week's episode and you're enjoying listening, go and follow us. We are on TikTok at I Won't You What at what? we're over on TikTok at Why Won't You Watch. We're on Insta at Why Won't You Watch. And that's it for now. If you think we should join X or Facebook, let us know. We have no clue what we're doing. If you want to email us, it's whywon'tyouvwatch@gmail.com. If you want to help me convince Vic on why she should be watching Coronation Street, get in touch. Give me some tips, because clearly I am not doing a good enough job here. So help me help her. Anyway, that's it for now. This is Vic. This is Emily.
And
I'm
this is
Emily.
Vic.
We'll see you next week on Why Won't You Watch Corrie?